I've always had an interest in sports, and recently I had a go at surfing via Surfability when I was on holiday in Wales last year, and I'd recently got into sailing. I'd say it was really nice to be able to get into the sea and take part in an activity that I hadn't done for many years, because when I was younger and more physically able, I used to go bodyboarding when I went on holiday. I'd had that experience, but it'd been a very long time since I'd been able to do that again. So it was really nice to be able to do that in a supportive environment and be supported by the surfing school to take part in it, and quite exhilarating experience, to be honest. You had a special board, a special surfing board, and you had all your sort of your wetsuit and a crash helmet if you got a wave that was particularly big. But to be honest, they didn't take you out really far, and it was just to have sort of an experience of sort of getting out and catching a little wave and coming back to shore. Yeah, and it was just a really good experience. I'm glad I did it and can say that I've done it. I think humour can be quite a good way to cope with different situations, particularly when you live with a disability. I can't think of any specific examples, but I think when you look back at situations, you can sort of find the funny side in it. It definitely helps you to cope, and I suppose it helps the situation not to feel too overwhelming. And sometimes when you look back, it makes you consider how ridiculous a situation might have been in the past. But I think humour is a good coping mechanism anyway, whether you live with a disability or not. And I think, yeah, it can almost diffuse how it felt in the moment. Humour can be a really useful tool. Yes, I definitely feel angry or frustrated situations. Often it seems like it's a permanent feature of my life, but in terms of how I deal with it, I think what I find is a useful way is to, I suppose, invest in hobbies or things you're interested in. So, for example, for me, that is music, whether that's making music or listening to music. Then I suppose it's trying to find things where you might switch off. And I suppose the difficult thing when you live with a disability and a neuromuscular condition is that, you can't go out for a run like everyone else or take part in, high impact sports. But I do think it is important that you invest in the hobbies that you do enjoy, whatever that is. It doesn't have to look the same for everyone, whether that's taking part in sailing, whether that's watching sports, trying to find that outlet. And also sometimes it's okay to ask for help or be open with others in terms of how you're feeling as a way to cope. But it's important that you don't dismiss that anger or frustration, because sometimes that can lead you into action. But it's trying to not let it take over everything. I think an accomplishment and something that I'm really proud of is when I fundraised for my standing powered wheelchair and managed to raise actually the best part of £24,000 in about 6 months. And, I managed to put together a social media campaign, and one of my friends organised a tag rugby event to raise some money. And it was, I suppose, good to see how, I was surprised at the amount of sort of strangers and people I didn't know who were willing to donate to my cause and help me to raise all the funds. And it was quite, in a way, reassuring, and shows that people really do want to help people they may not know particularly well, and I suppose I'm really thankful for that. And also it shows that, in a relatively short space of time, fundraising can achieve really great things. Yeah, and that is a particular moment that I'm quite proud of.